Let me adjust this. This is going to be quick on Facebook and YouTube. Let me set up my Instagram. Give me a second. Instagram. Uh, what you see? Alright, let me adjust this. Give me a couple of seconds. Won't be long. Hello, hello. As you all coming in, just drop your city, right? Let me know what city and state you're coming from. It's Monday, right? So you're not gonna be long. Just one or two Monday, okay. Let me cut this off. So I want to talk about two things. We're gonna get into two things real quick. Hello, 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 hello. Drop your city, drop your state. Adjust this. Um, what's up, Digital Love from Memphis? What's up, Ben? Ben, it's been a while. Right? What's up to my family on YouTube? I have my Fierce Queen shirt on. Let me log onto one more platform. What's up, Instagram and um, Facebook, my Facebook family, right? Let me get this one last connection in. We're gonna not gonna be long. This is gonna be a very, very short, quick and to the point. Hope you all have a very happy Monday. If your first time tuning in, this is the Queen of Credit. Hello, Antonio. Queen of Credit here. So while we're everybody is coming in and the audience is building, hold on, cut this sound out. You all drop your city. Let me know where you're from. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for viewing. Um, want to cover two things. One on um, debt collections, right? How to deal with um, debt collectors, right? And I honestly, I probably would not have been went live today. So you all make sure you hit like and hit share if you're watching on YouTube, right? Subscribe to my channel. Take time to hit the Fierce Queen. Got my Fierce Queen shirt on. Sub Periscope, show some digital love. So make sure you take some time to subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Um, hit the subscription button and the bell notification button when I go live, because every time I talk, I'm saving Facebook. I'm saving you two things. I'm saving you money and I'm helping you build your credit right. I'm saving you money and I'm also helping you build your credit. So let's get right into the point and why I want to go live today. If you have any letters that you're receiving from a, hold up, Instagram, let me make sure my volume is up, that you've received from a debt collector, or if you have an account, right, that's going into dispute. I was listening. You know what? It's more people that need credit help than people that's really qualified to help them with their credit, right? So you all make sure you hit like and hit share. So some digital love. Hit the thumbs up button. Share this on your screen. Ben from Memphis said, "Did I decide what Jeep I want to get?" No, I haven't, Ben, and um, I really want a Jeep. Right, my birthday is this Thursday, but you know what? I have a daughter in college, so before I make a decision, financial decision like that, all of my vehicles right now are paid in full. I don't have a note, and so it is what it is. All of them are well maintenance. So I probably wait a couple of years before I be that Jeep girl, right? Before I be that Jeep girl, but I definitely want to be a Jeep girl. But I want to help some people right now. If you've gotten a letter from collection, or if you have an account that's in charge of status, I was listening to a live stream, and there's a small circle of people that talk about credit, right? It's a small circle of people who really can really get you those results that you need. And so I am more so of an educator. So on YouTube, I have more people watching than the thumbs up. So take out the time, get the thumbs up, hit like and hit share. Periscope and Instagram. Make sure you all hit the hearts on Facebook as well. Show some digital love. And so I want to help people understand how to deal with debt collectors and how to deal with charge off accounts that's in charge off. Thank you, Facebook, for the digital love. And so, number one, debt collectors, right? I heard on the video this morning that you want to negotiate with a debt collector. Thank you for the digital love on Periscope. I'm getting all types of hearts, and this is why whenever you're maybe considering negotiating with a debt collector, or a letter you got in the mail, or charge off status, this is what you may not know, that at the end of the year, you will receive something called a 1099. You won't ever be clear of that debt. You won't ever be technically clear of that balance, right? So, for example, if you owe $5,500 to a debt collector, and they say, "Hey, let's negotiate, right? And you can pay $4,500. We'll save you $1,000, right?" Um, they're going to send you that $1,000 difference in the form of a 1099 form at the end of the year. Now you have to claim that as taxes, right? Thank you for the digital love. And so now you're going to be taxed on top of what you would have owed them, like at a 30% or higher rate, right? Because that 1099 will come in the mail. Thank you for the digital love, in the form of some as your income, right? And so with debt collectors and charge off accounts, you need to be careful of negotiating. Now, some people, thank you so much, Midnight Club 4.0. Wow, what a name on YouTube. Thank you for loving my show. And so that's why I'm telling you all that once you receive a letter from a debt collector, right, and it tells you in the fine print, in the small lines, that you have 30 days to dispute, you want to take advantage of that 30-day window. Now you may say queen of credit or cash flow or a collector. I don't know what to speak. This is my first time hearing about this. No one has educated me on this. Thank you for the hearts on Periscope. I didn't even know that you can dispute debt collectors. Well, you can, because just like you can challenge or dispute anything on your credit report, right, that may be negative under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA. You can also dispute debt collectors on the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. And what debt collectors do more often is they buy your debt, they purchase your debt, they purchase a portfolio of debt, right? Periscope is showing me so much digital love. Thank you, Periscope. And they don't purchase the required documentation to come along with that, right? They're supposed to have a list, a profile of things in place, in order, right, to legally collect that from you. Because first of all, they have to identify that it's directly you. And second of all, that you all know this, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, that a screenshot of them saying, okay, this is a printout, this is a bill, right? A screenshot or a bill of what services you were provided. That under the law, that's not validation of debt. So that's why they are legally required to put on every letter that they send to you in the mail. That's why you always ask debt collectors to send me something in writing. Because in that fine print, it will have, you have 30 days to validate that debt. People, they don't have that there just for a disclaimer, because they know that you have rights. You don't know you have rights, but they know that you have rights. So be careful of taking this advice of negotiating with debt collectors. are negotiating with a charge off account. It may appear that you have saved money by negotiating with an account that's charged off, but at the end of the year, they will send you something called a 1099, and you will be taxed on that as income added to you, right? So also, many people will argue, why pay a debt collector, right? Why pay a debt collector when it still will report on your credit report as paid collection? So it's still going to decrease your credit score by 50 to 100 points. Because even if it's a paid collection, it's still looked at as derogatory, right? It's still looked at as a negative account. A paid collection is no more different than a collection that you have not paid. So you may be asking me, well, what if I just stumbled across your video? I never heard of this. I never heard that you can dispute debt collectors. Thank you for the digital love. I never knew that I could save myself hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is not something that I've just read and researched, which I've saved many people hundreds of thousands of dollars from that, from paying debt collectors' debt. But I'm able to tell you this because I have done this personally, right? I was diagnosed with endometriosis. I had a lot of medical bills to sold to collection, and I learned my power, my rights to validate the debt, right? And I saved myself thousands and thousands of dollars. And I've done that for others as well, not just myself, for other people as well. Another thing, the same thing goes on with charge off. So let me tell you all something about charge off. Something about charge off accounts. If you pull your credit report, right, and everyone that reach out to me for a consultation, that's the first thing I ask them to email me your credit report. I get it from one platform, and I do that for a reason because it it's the only platform that will correlate with the software system that I have to analyze credit report, right? It's the only one that will match that. So you have to use this particular link that I send you or text you, right? In order for me to expeditiously give you a credit analysis in maybe 30 minutes. It still may take 3 to 5 days because I have hundreds of people reaching out to me on a daily basis, right? I may wake up to 10 to 20 emails with or more, for credit on a daily basis. But this is what I read from looking at hundreds of credit reports. A charge off will be, thank you for the digital love again on Periscope. A charge off will have one or two categories. Number one, a charge off may state that it was written off, let's say it's $594. It will state $594 written off for a loss, or $594 written off. Uh, Being asked what software do I use, I only use software to do credit analysis. All of my affidavits are customized by me. I don't use a software to dispute the collection agencies. I only do software because once this software uh, is synced in with the Identity IQ, it automatically will give me a printout of how many collections, how many inquiries, how many deletions you have. That's the only reason why I use it. Everything else is customized. And let me tell you why my credit results, I ask people to judge me not on my wins, but on my losses, because I don't have losses. Ask me how many clients were I not able to deliver a charge off of, or a collection of, or inquiries of, or bankruptcy of, right? I don't have any losses. You all know me as the queen of credit, but I also coach basketball. They know me as Miss Coach Deloach. And I won't say this always true in my basketball world, but in the credit world, I don't have any losses. And that's what makes me different, the way I dispute. Because, for example, what I was stating earlier, some charges off will have written off $594 or whatever the balance was, and that means it was kept in-house. But then you'll have some charge offs that will say charge off / collection, right? Thank you for the digital love on Periscope. So it would say charge off / collection. That means not only did the company write it off as a loss, but they sold it to a debt collector. Now you have two areas of dispute that you have to address with the credit agencies to get that deletion, right? So that's the number one thing, all right? And so under the Fair Credit Billing Act, right, if it's a charge off for credit cards and things like that, you may have to, number one, go to the original company, which might be American Express, Capital One. And this is just something that I'm going to put out there for you all to know. That you all know, for example, all of Capital One charge offs have the same account numbers. I look at hundreds of credit reports. All of Capital One, Credit One, they all have the same account number. So under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, that's a reasonable cause within itself because your account number is not accurate to get that charge off deleted, right? And so you may be asking, okay, Queen of Credit, if I can get that charge off deleted because of inaccurate reporting off my credit report, then what do I do? Now, this is only for a charge off status. When it comes to debt collectors, I dispute the collectors directly. So you don't have to worry about getting a 1099 from them, right? But with a charge off, you may get a 1099. This is where having a good tax person in place will help you, right? Because did you all know that a 1099 for a charge off, if you meet certain requirements, you won't have to pay that 30+% of taxes, right? And so those are things you should do because once you negotiate with a charge off or a debt collector, you are agreeing to the instrument of indebtedness. And it's still going to hurt your credit report, your credit score once they report it. And it's still going to report as a debt collection. So what you should do is get the expertise and the education and the help, right, to deal with it firsthand and not enter into negotiations, right? Save your money. And a lot of people say, well, we advise them to negotiate because if they negotiate, they can negotiate with the company to delete it. You can get it deleted without negotiation. All collections reported on your credit report, because it's not first-hand knowledge, can get deleted without you negotiating a price, right? So the last thing, and then I'm wrapping up. The last thing, YouTube, I need some likes. Facebook, share this information, like it. Instagram, thank you for the hearts. You're still giving the hearts. And on Periscope and Instagram, thank you as well. YouTube, you need to repost that question. I'm sorry I didn't see it. Repost it again. Another thing I want to bring to your attention by credit is that banks value cash flow more than they do your cash. And what do I mean by that? Banks will not give you money for saving money in their CDs, their savings accounts. They won't give you much interest on that money. They might give you under 1%. Thank you for the digital love. They might give you under 1%. But they value cash flow over cash. Because what they will do is lock you into a 30-year mortgage, lock you into a 15-year mortgage, lock you into an installment loan where you're paying back a vehicle debt for five years or more, 3 years. So if the banks value cash flow, shouldn't you? If the banks does not value cash, if they don't put a high interest on cash, but they would give you loans to, thank you for the digital love Instagram, to get your cash flow coming in, right? Shouldn't you value cash flow? And this is my whole message behind credit. Leverage your credit to buy assets where people will pay you and you have money coming in on a continual basis. I don't care if it's stocks where you're getting dividend payments. I don't care if it's real estate where you're renting out property. I have a charge-off report from the original creditor with balance, but get letters from collectors for the same. So are you saying you get letters from the debt collectors? So you have a charge-off account, and it seems like your charge-off account has been sold to a debt collector. So what you need to do, okay, midnight, is email me, because they have that you have a 30-day window. Email me at LD. My name is 𝒞𝓇𝑒𝒹𝒾𝓉. LD, for those who don't know me as the Queen of Credit, I am a fierce queen. LD at 𝒞𝓄𝒾𝓉.com. And send me a screenshot or send me a scan of that letter from the debt collector, right? And once you take the head of the beast off, once you, state your laws and all of the compliances that the debt collector is supposed to have under the Fair Debt Collection Act, then you go to the credit agencies and get that charge off deleted and removed. Right. Now, it will cost you something. It'll just cost you for my expertise, because it's more than one thing that they have to produce under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act laws. It's more than one thing that validation. So I'm saving you money, I'm saving you time, and I'm enhancing your credit score. Use your credit to cash, to purchase assets, things that will bring you money in every month, that will pay you every month, because that's how the bank set it up. They understand that the only thing that makes cash valuable is that you're able to spend it on goods and services. So they want a system set in place to get cash flow every month. If you get sued, can you get it off once paid? Yes, you can. If you did not know about the validation system, and the 30 days has expired and you received a summons to court, first of all, people don't show up for court, right? And so they win by default because people just don't show up. And so now you have legal jurisdiction by a judge to say, hey, now this person has to pay or we will garnish. But if people will respond or get the professional help they need within that 30 days, it won't even go to court, right? That's why debt collectors are so aggressive on the phone. That's why they use their scare tactics. That's why they bully you, because they know if they can get you to no respond at all within 30 days, that once they get it into court, now they have legal jurisdiction, right? Okay, you reply and negotiate, and they will not accept your negotiation. Do you still have 30 days to validate the debt? Or has that 30 days expired? Because if you've already replied and said, I want to negotiate, and they don't accept your negotiation, if you still have that 30-day window, send me the letter. Now, you know what? You don't even have to negotiate, because they don't have what they're supposed to have on file. 99% of the time, debt collectors never purchase the original contracts that they're supposed to purchase, right? How did they validate the debt? Them sending you a bill printout is not validation under law. And that's what a lot of debt collectors do. They will send you a bill printout from the original company that provided you the services. And by law, that's not legal debt validation. So if the only thing they've sent you is an itemized statement in the mail saying this is validation, that's not validation by law, right? And so let me know what's going on with that, all right? Send me an email, ld@fixmycreditandcash.com, if you would like a credit consultation to use your credit, to leverage your credit to create cash flow and assets. We're going to do what the banks do. That's why when the banks have your house in foreclosure, or they repossess a vehicle, they sell it for little to nothing, because the banks are not interested in you keeping money into their account. They give you no incentives for having a savings account or a money market account. They give you very little interest rate. They're interested in the cash flow. Why? Because they know cash flow is taxed at a lower tax bracket. See, it's all about the tax and credit game. It's all about the tax and credit game. Cash flow is taxed lower, anyone from 0 to 15 interest rate, than your paycheck. Employees, your paycheck is taxed from 26 to 35%. So the banks know that, hey, even if we repossess this vehicle or we have this house in foreclosure, we're going to sell it for very little because we don't want to be taxed on capital gains. So we can just get them to lock into a 30 or 15-year mortgage or a 5 or 7-year vehicle loan and send us their cash flow payments every month. We pay less taxes. We don't want a stack of their cash in our checking accounts, um, because now we have to pay a higher tax bracket. So you already negotiating this pay. It's the way, yes, it is. You get it completely deleted off your checking account. And just know, people with FICO scores, even if it's you want everything deleted within the first 2 years, any account that may be still reporting after the 7-year period is not hurting your credit report at that time. The only thing on the FICO that's factored in is 2 recent years. And so people ask me all the time, how long should I expect it to get deleted? Well, I have this rule of thumb for you, right? I have this rule of thumb for you. Bankruptcies and charge-offs, charge-offs take 6 months to report as a charge-off, right? Bankruptcy take months of going through the courts and all of your creditor system. So with a bankruptcy and charge-off, you should expect at least 1 to 3 months, half of that time, to get it deleted, because it takes a long time period to get it placed on there, right? Even if it takes the same 6 months to get a charge-off deleted, it took 6 months to get it placed on there, right? But by 6 months, any charge-off and bankruptcy should be deleted. The easiest and quickest accounts to get deleted are collections and inquiries. Inquiries are hard pulls on your credit report. They get reported the same day, and inquiry gets reported in 24 hours. As a result, they can get removed in 15 to 30 days. A collection takes 30 days to report to your credit report, right? As a result, a collection usually takes about 30 days to get deleted, right? So I'm even critiquing my letters, because now, letters have, when it's a charge-off / collection, your letter does not only have to address the charge-off, right, but it has to address the collection, the debt collector as well. But when it's just a charge-off for a company loss, then you just address the company under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, 𝒲𝑽𝓱. You have the right to dispute to the original creditor. So it's different rules to this game, and I know how to play all of it. So don't judge me off my wins and judge me off my losses, because in this credit world, I don't lose. I don't lose. Now, it may not, your charge-off may not come in the first 30 days, but I promise you, if it takes 6 months to get it on there, I get it off in 6 months. But you're going to have to be patient. And also, this one thing, and I'm signing off. Some people said, or I've heard some people say, hey, I paid off some accounts and my credit score has decreased. First of all, you need to see what credit monitoring system you're using. Like if it's CreditWise or Credit Karma, Credit Sesame, that's a vantage score, right? A vantage score calculates your credit age. It calculates 2 things: the age of your credit and what types of credit accounts you have. Your true FICO score, which is what banks use, right? They don't look at your vantage score. They don't look at Credit Karma. They don't look at Credit Sesame. They look at your FICO. You can get that from myfico.com. They look at your length of credit history. A big difference than your credit age. Your credit age, that's why your Credit Karma score will be different than when you go to get approved for a house or a car, right? It'll be maybe 100 points off, because your FICO score looked at your length of credit history, meaning that if you have accounts open, right, how long has the history of payment been made towards these accounts? So if you close them, your FICO score may take like a 15% dip. If you close, or if you pay out, for example, a home loan, I will do that on Periscope. I will do that. I'll put my email address in my profile. I will do that. Thank you. So if you pay a home loan or a vehicle loan, automobile loan, your vantage score, might not take a deal, but your FICO score is, because their payment history is no longer being recorded. But it's only 15%. But you have to look at too that your 30% of your debt ratio column will also be decreased, right? And so also your cash flow will be increased, right? If you're paying a $500 vehicle note and you're paying it off in full, that's $500 of extra cash flow. So that's why under the FICO scoring model, which is what the lenders use and most banks use, when you pay credit cards off and department scores off, your score increases because you've just kept that line of credit open, right? That's why you don't ever need to close credit cards. Because now, when you look at your utilization, which is 30%, your debt ratio on your FICO score, is showing that not only does this person have a $5,000 credit limit, right, but it's under the 30% balance ratio, or maybe at zero, and they have $5,000 credit to use, but they are responsible enough and they're not using this credit, and this line of, and it's still available to them. It's still open. So that's why paying off credit cards and charge cards will increase your credit score. Thank you so much, send me an email. It's LD Latanya Deloach at 𝒞𝓃𝑒𝒾𝓉.com. LD at 𝒞𝓃𝓃𝑒𝒾𝓉.com. And so that's why under the FICO, when people ask me what account should I pay out first, I always advise them, if you want to increase your credit score, pay your charge cards and department store cards first and keep them open. If you want to increase your cash flow, right, pay your installment loans off, which is your vehicles and your automobiles, right? I should do a live stream on what's the best credit card. All right, Jesus, that's fine. But Jesus, this is what I want you to do for California. I want you to send me an email, and let's do that research together. I need some people on my team, right? So hey, this is the Queen of Credit. Send me an email at ld@𝒞𝓃𝓃𝓃𝓃𝓃.com. I hope this information helped you. If you're watching this at the end, you need to go back and watch the replay. I discussed why banks value. Okay, Jesus, I look forward to hearing from you. Why banks value cash flow versus cash, and why you need to listen to this. You should never pay off or negotiate with debt collectors or charge off accounts, right? You don't want to get that 1099 in the mail. You don't want to get taxed, right? And you want to get those accounts deleted from your credit report. So hey, I'm signing off. Periscope, I'm signing off for you first. Thanks for tuning in. Everyone else, make sure that you hit the thumbs up if you're watching, especially on Facebook and YouTube. Share this to your timeline, right? Share this message. I think on YouTube, I only have 4 thumbs up. Credit Secrets has cards in it, reason why I bought it. The Credit Secret book, I think the Credit Secret books will tell you things like how to do the hat trick, which means that's basically telling you how to apply for charge cards without using your social security number. Different, trying to think, I wasn't expecting that question. Different accounts, like Abercrombie and Fitch, Old Navy, but I'm just really interested. Okay, I'm just really interested in getting people approved for the higher credit limits. I posted on my YouTube and Facebook, for example, 25,000 approved for Navy Federal, 15,000 for Penn Fed. It was another account, that myself, I know how to get approved for business credit, and there's certain numbers you have to tag in. The Credit Secrets book would not tell you what numbers, especially if you have a new business, that you need to plug in to get business credit approval without them requesting for your proof of your financial statement. So yeah, that book is pretty much, teaching you how to do the hat trick. What's your reason? What's your agenda for wanting higher lines of credit? You all answer that, then I'm gonna log out. So I'm logging out. Tell me, cause that way I can tell you what cards you probably want to try to get approval for. Um, it won't tell you like what numbers to put in for your income, for example, to get a higher approval rate. Because your credit limit is based on two things. Number one, your stated income, which credit cards do. That means you don't have to have the income right now for your business, but it's a certain stated income. If you put too much, you'll be flagged and you'll have to prove that. Or what's your highest credit card limit on your personal credit report? Right. So, for example, if you have a $10,000 credit card on your personal credit report, the higher the chances of you getting approved for a $10,000, let's say Chase Business Inc. card. And so that's when the strategy of authorized users and maybe trade lines will be effective for you. But like I said, I don't know your situation. I don't know what you're trying to get, how much credit limit you want, or what your personal credit look like. So, yeah, credit seekers will let you know things I think about charge cards. But if you're really looking into getting those high business credit and credit cards approval, then credit seekers wouldn't provide that for you, right? It wouldn't let you know how to apply for business credit cards. And even if you get approved for a 25K Navy Federal card, just know that balance will report on your personal credit report. So my advice to people is get approved for business credit cards that even if you max the card out, it won't report on your personal credit report. So, all right, that's it. I'm signing off. Hey, thanks for tuning in. As always, family, I enjoy this Queen of Credit, Cash Flow, and Debt Collectors. All right, I'm signing off.